Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the types of polynomials and its degrees. So what's the kind of polynomial that we have in front of us, and also what is the degree of it? So we're going to define those two. So the type we have in another video already when we talk about if we have 1, 2, 3 terms, 4 terms, for example. So in this case, how many terms do we have? We have 1 term, 2, the second one, and then the third one. So we're in front of 3 terms. So that is a trinomial. Okay? So this one is a trinomial, meaning 3 terms. All right? So if you have 3 terms in this case, so what about the degree? How do we find the degree? First of all, the degree is all about exponents, okay, of the variables. So we go in here, the first term here, what's the exponent of what's the variable x? What's the exponent of the variable is 2. We go to the second term, what is the variable here? X. What is the power? 1. We go to the third one, what's the variable here? None. Okay? So there's no power there's no variable for that. So what is the power over here? 2. And what's the power here? Is 1. So to get the degree of the polynomial, now we're going to compare. Whichever is higher will be the degree of the polynomial. That's it. So let's go at it. So this one is power 2, and this one is power 1. So what's really happening is that which one is higher is the power 2. So that's the one that we're going to take as the degree of the polynomial. Everybody now? Are we okay a little bit? Okay, so let's go. So this one is second degree. Okay? So that's that. Now, if you still do not understand that, it's okay. Let's go to the second question and see what we have here. So we have 3/5 m to the third power n to the what power? 1 minus 4/5 m to the power 1 n to the power 1. Are we good so far? So this is what we have. So when we look at this, so how many terms do we have? 1 term, 2 term. Okay? So the second term. So now that means what? So that means we have a binomial, 2 terms. Okay? A binomial, 2 terms. Now when it comes to the degree, remember, we take the term and then we look for the degree. Now, the difference now is here we have 2 variables in 1 term. So this is 1 term here. Okay? So we take the variables and we look at the powers, we add them up. So we have 3 and 1, that's 4. Okay, so that's power 4. So we go here now, we have m and n also, but we have 1 and 1, so it's going to give us 2. Remember, we say what do? We compare now. Which one is higher will be the degree of the polynomial. So this one is 4, and this one is 2. So 4 is higher than 2, of course, so we're going to have 4th degree. So our polynomial, the binomial that we have here, is of a 4th degree. Are we good? Let's take another one here. So now we're talking about 28.6 a to the third power, b what? 1 power, and then c to the second power. Are we good? So what's happening here? So this one's 28.6. In US, this is the same thing as saying 28,6 in Europe, in Africa, in other places in India, China. So you're talking about comma. Okay, but in the US, this is 28.6 in America. All right? So how many terms do we have here? In this case, as we learned about terms, this is 1 term. Because remember, there is no sign in between the a to the third, no sign in between with the b. That actually means multiplication. They are all pasted together. They are all together, so it's 1 term. So to find, so if it's 1 term, what is then the polynomial type? Is going to be a monomial. Okay, so it's a monomial, which is 1 term. Now the next one is, so we're going to do what to the powers now. We're going to add them up because we have all the 3 variables which are part of the same term. So now this is 3 plus 1, which is 4 plus 2, which is 6. So we end up with 6th degree for our monomial. Everybody good? All right, so let's take the fourth one now. So this one also is what? This one also is a whole because there's no plus, there's no minus sign in between the variables. So this one also is what we call a monomial, which is one term. And then because we have a monomial, what's happening to the degree now? It's the same thing that we did here. We're going to do the same thing over there, which means what? We're going to look at the powers of the different variables and then add them up together. So that'll give you 4 plus 1, okay, which is what? Which is 5 plus 3, which is 8. So we end up with 8th degree. So our monomial is of 8th degree. And that's it. That's it. This is it. All right? In a nutshell. Thank you, and voila.